How's everybody doing today? It's Tuesday, August 6th, and where to begin? So on Friday we did 45 bales. Just got started doing baleage again. That was me, Wes, and Jason. Got everything moved over to the hayfield and did 45 bales. And we also went and got the new truck, or the newer truck. Colin said the truck was ready, so we went and got it. We brought it back. I hooked it up to the trailer and then parked it. And then we just had the two loads. We hauled them in with the older truck. On Saturday morning, it rained. Just enough to make everything wet. I think it was like a little less than 2/10 of an inch. We didn't go to the hayfield, and then Wes brought that truck over here, power washed it, he changed the oil, he blew out the air filters, he greased it all up, and I'm sure he did something else to it. On Sunday morning we were able to get started real early and got going. But this time it was just me, Wes, and Jeremy. So on Sunday we ended up doing 105 bales. So by lunchtime we had everything that we wanted that day cut. And Jeremy had already baled maybe 10-15 bales. But because it was so thick hay, it's like making more hay than it's ever made right now. And then because of that little bit of rain on Saturday and then Sunday morning it was still cloudy. It was super green, so we went to lunch and left it sit for like 2 hours. So then me and Jeremy baled, and while we were baling, Wes loaded both trucks up. Once me and Jeremy were done baling, we took off in both trucks, came back to the barn, parked them to start wrapping. Jeremy drove the newer truck, and then that's when he said, when we got back, that's when he said that it was kind of making a funny noise. So the funny noise was, it sounded like it was missing. It was making like a chattering noise. And then it did stop for a little bit. So I stayed back and wrapped those two loads after I unloaded them. And then Wes and Jeremy took off to get the other two loads because we had built 105 bales. So they got back. The older truck was fully loaded and the newer truck only had like a half a load on it. And Wes said something's definitely wrong with it. Now they're only driving like 5 miles in a round trip to that hayfield, so it wasn't like a long haul or anything like that. So later that evening, Wes called the guy that works on our trucks, and said, told him what was going on, and he said to park it and leave it alone, and then he would come look at it first thing Monday morning. So he got here first thing, like really early Monday morning. He looked at it and he said, well, just go ahead and drive it over to his shop. So then Wes unhooked it and drove it over to his shop and left it there. And then on Monday morning, after we did feeding and everything like that, we had to change inflations and milk hoses in the barn. So we got all that done. And right when we finished doing that, it was lunchtime. So we all went to lunch, and then when we got back, we went over to the hayfield. Me and Wes went first, and we started cutting again. Jason and Jeremy got there a little later, and then they started baling. We ended up baling 101 bales. We're still in the same 60-acre field, so at 45, 105, and 101. And then we're figuring today that we're going to do 110 to 120 bales. So, yeah, a lot of hay. After we finished cutting, me and Wes, we drove over to that shop, because it's not too far from down the road from there. And The truck was sitting there right where Wes parked it. And so I got out and asked the guy if he had a chance to look at it. And if you remember, the truck got a new computer and all new injectors. When I asked him if he got a chance to look at it, he said, yeah, the computer's burnt. And then I was kind of like, what? And then he said, nobody knows why, but the brand new computer is burnt. And they're sending him a new computer. They don't know if something happened when it got programmed or what happened. But for whatever reason, that new computer is toast. So on Sunday, running with the two trucks, 105 bales with 3 people, we were done wrapping at like 6:30 that night. So then on Monday, with just one truck now and 4 people, we were in only 101 bales. We got down about 7:45. The mechanic said as soon as he gets the new computer in it, he'd call us and to come get it, but not really sure when that's going to be. So we just need to hope that this is the final fix for it. Because we got way too much to do to keep messing around with it. So now you're all caught up with everything that happened this weekend, and hopefully today will be a better day. And we can get, be nice to get the rest of that field done today. We'll see how it goes though. So it's 11 o'clock. We're going to take off to the hayfield and tell Jeremy to go eat lunch so then he can get back and start baling. We'll finish cutting because Wes and Jeremy have been cutting since about 9 o'clock this morning. And then when me and Wes finish cutting, then we'll go eat lunch ourselves. And then by then, Jason and Jeremy should be baling. And then me and Wes will load up the first load and haul it in and get it wrapped. So that's the plan. Well, that whole field's cut. The 2 tractors and the mowers are back here at the dairy barn. Just finished eating lunch, and Wes called me and said that the truck's ready to go. So we're gonna go get the truck again, and hopefully it'll be the last time we have to go get it. But we'll get to hauling hay. Jason and Jeremy are supposed to be baling, so we'll get probably 120 bales is my guess. Alright, we're hooked and ready to go. The only thing the mechanic said when I got the truck was that, well, he said they, and I'm assuming they is Detroit, because it's got a Detroit 60 in it. He said they didn't know what could have happened unless that computer was just bad before they even put it on. So they just sent him a new computer free of charge, and he got it put on. And so far it's running fine. So we're headed to the hayfield to get the first load. I'm thinking Jason and Jeremy are probably about halfway done baling, so we'll see when we get there. Maybe I can get one of them to stop and help me load up real quick. Well, I started walking across the field, and then Jeremy said he was going to go get the tractor, so he kicked out a bale and went over and parked the baler, jumped to 6410. He's going to load me. That's not going to... It's not going to hurt anything because this grass is so thick and it's still pretty green, even though it's cut a couple hours now, or it's been cut for a couple hours now. Get a lot faster and a lot easier on that 6410 if I can drive the truck to the bales, and the end result's going to be the same because we don't get done until all the bales are wrapped anyway. So if I can wrap while they finish up baling, at least this first load, and then we can get both trucks going and get them all knocked out. So, all right, so these go on a certain way. This one's kind of messed up. See, it pulls off this way, so you want the bale to be here. So we'll need to pick it up on this side.
You want it to unroll in towards the bale and towards the line, if you will. Let's see where to put the camera. Okay, this thing weighs like 60 pounds, so I gotta figure out where to put the camera real quick. I always put the pin in my back pocket, that way I don't lose it or forget to put it on. Because I forgot to put it on before and it fell off. And when it falls off, it goes underneath the wrapper, and then trying to dig that out from underneath everything is not fun. So, alright, so you have 3 sets of rollers, the black one and then 2 silver ones, 2 metal ones. And well, actually you got 4 because this down here is the trip. So right now I have the brake set so that the hoop can't turn, because of the weight of the roll would push it down, because right now they're not even because the other side's empty. So we'll feed this through like so, back through here. Give it a push up. Ah. Alright, so right now this side of the hoop is 60 pounds heavier than the other side. So once you push it over halfway and it starts to come down, you kind of need to make sure you're leaning back, because you don't want this to come around. You'd have to be like completely half asleep to do it, but that side dropping down and this side will hit you in the chin and knock your teeth out if you're still leaning over, because you got to lean over to push it up. And then once you push it up and you get it to go halfway, this side's coming around. So, and the weight of it will make it just go from that 60 pounds of the roll hanging on the other side. So we'll get that one put on and then we'll get back to wrapping. So we got it all the plastic put on, and then once you get this roll on, you don't have to worry about the brake no more. That's the brake right there. So you just push it down with your foot and that locks it in. But once they're balanced in weight, you don't really have to worry about that much. So we need to set our speed back to where we had it, which is just a hair past 4, which if you do the math, I'll show you that in a second. We'll set our automatic shut-off deal back so it can trip. We'll go ahead and start it up. Let it run. But it's almost there anyway, so we'll shut it off. Blue button in is running off the remote, so we'll get it turned back on. And well, I mean, you set this to turn on and you got that button pushed in. I'll start it with the remote. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well, but you see right here is the end of one piece of plastic, and there's the other end of it. That is probably 5 to 6 inches. The whole roll of plastic is 30 inches, so we'll just call it, we'll just say that's 5 inches. So 5 divided by 30 is 6 wraps. So that's way 6 wraps around the bell. And then if you want to say that's a little bit bigger, it's 6 inches. So then it's 5 inches. So somewhere between 5 to 6 wraps per bell is what we're putting on. That's plenty. If this was gonna sit for 2 years, you may want to put 8, but 5 to 6 is fine for now. Jeremy should be headed back from the hayfield here in just a minute with the baler. So the plan would be, well, it'd be a lot better if Wes was here right now and he could drive both trucks, or they could drive both trucks. Jason could load them and I could wrap. But on these short distances, I mean, I can almost just barely keep up with 2 trucks. So, but Wes isn't here right now. He might be here in a little bit. And so when Jeremy gets here, he's gonna drive one, I'm gonna drive the other one. We'll get them both loaded and come back, or I'll take off, get my truck loaded first, I guess, and then head back and start wrapping. And then when he gets here, he can jump in that one and drive it back, and while I wrap the other one. So in Jeremy fashion, he's gonna demand that he drives that one, and I get stuck with the old one. But joke's on him, because this has got a cat, and I'd rather drive a cat. Sounds way better. Well, I didn't have the camera rolling, but this truck still had 7 bells on it. The other truck's over there running empty, but Jeremy still walked and got into the new truck. He could already be leaving right now with the old truck, but he's gonna sit there just so he can drive that one. Yeah, hey, Jeremy pulled up here and then he sat and waited for me to finish wrapping the bells off the newer truck just so he could drive it, even though I already had the other one running and aired up and ready to go. So when I pull in there, he's already gone, he's already past my house, so when I pull in there, just stop loading him and come load me. Okay, bye. Teach Jeremy a lesson. Look at him sitting over there. See who gets out of here first, buddy. We're loaded and we're getting out of here. Hurry up, people. Shoulder to the road here. Been doing it for like 4 4 or 5 months. When Jeremy was younger and is 8, 9, 10 years old, that 7210 was fairly new, and the people that had it before, it was fairly new to us, and the people that had it before tinted the windows, and so it looked really cool, and it was really awesome, like a really awesome tractor back then. And so Jeremy always had to cut hay with it, and then so if we were to pull up in a field and you jumped out and took off running and said, "I'm cutting in this 7210 today," Jeremy would jump out of the truck, fall on the ground, start crying, and he would cry until you stopped saying you were going to take that tractor. So now he's 23 and he's just about the same weight. So that second load that I hauled in on the older truck, I unloaded it up there. Then Jeremy got here with this load, so I'm unloading it now. Jason drove the hay baler back, so now both hay balers are here. And him and Jeremy jumped in the old truck and took off in it. And now Wes is here too. So he's actually walking over here right now. He will jump in this truck and take off. And then we're going to be stuck here wrapping for a while. We got 8 bales left and Jeremy just pulled in. So I wrapped 50 bales while they were loading loading the truck up. So he'll pull in here and I'll unload him, and then I'll see if there's any more bales first before I unload it. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
How many total bales?
I'm not sure. Can't remember what I have, like 55 or something. I think Jason had 74. Something like that. 120 something.
So Wes has got a load like this and that's it?
Yeah, he's got a loader like 25.
So he said there's just one more load that's about 25 bales, so we won't have to unload that. We just wrap these 6 bales and then start wrapping off of that trailer. Well, we're starting a new line, so I'm going to take these 2 bales and set them down and make a backstop. That way, when the first bales come off the wrapper, they'll run into these and then start pushing away instead of the first bales sliding on the ground. You can kind of rip the plastic up and stuff like that, so if they slide too much. So we'll set these down and line them up. We have a lane right here that goes across the road, and kind of see we have these bales staggered, so every line gets a couple bales added to it. So we should be putting about 125 or so in a line right now. Somewhere between 125 and 130. So Jeremy drove the wrapper down here for me. See, make sure he gets it. Put our plug in first. So what Jerry told me is right. There's 129 bales. That's what we made today, and it's 6:20, and they're all here, so I could be done wrapping by 7 o'clock. That hasn't happened once with the. Just having the old truck. So huge difference having 2 trucks. Well, we're out of plastic again already, so we'll put 2 new rolls on again. So we're done wrapping. I'm going to shut this down. So we just started our 8th line out here. We probably got 30, 40, no, not 30, 40. Maybe almost 30 bales in the start of the 8th line, and then we got 7 lines of about 120 bales. So we're gonna get this fork taken off, and then go take the wheel loader up there and park it.
What?
What? Hey, replace these O-rings. Shoot up.
Anyway,
Gatorade bottle on. Well, alright, all the equipment's here. Everything's wrapped for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be headed down to the 40 acres that's just 2 miles down the road on the same county road. So that's where we'll be tomorrow. We usually do that field in one day, but I don't know if we'll be able to with the amount of hay that we're making right now. That'd be 160. Yeah, if we get a really good start, we might be able to. And both trucks are going. It is possible. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Just want to thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.